Chapter 1: A New Home. In a bustling city full of tall buildings and busy streets, there was a small, cozy pet shop named Paws and Claws. The shop was owned by Mr. Thompson, a kind man with a big heart and a love for animals. One sunny afternoon, a litter of puppies was brought to the shop. Among them was a tiny, brown and white puppy with big, curious eyes and a wagging tail. The little puppy was full of energy and curiosity, always exploring his surroundings and playing with his siblings. Despite his small size, he had a brave heart. Mr. Thompson noticed the puppy's adventurous spirit and named him Max. A few days later, a family visited the pet shop. The family consisted of a young boy named Timmy, his older sister Emily, and their parents. They had recently moved to the city and were looking for a new pet to bring joy to their home. As soon as Timmy saw Max, he felt an instant connection. "Mom, Dad, look at this puppy. He's perfect," Timmy exclaimed, his eyes shining with excitement. Emily knelt down and petted Max, who wagged his tail enthusiastically. "He's so cute and friendly. I think he would make a great addition to our family." Mr. Thompson smiled and introduced the family to Max. "This little guy is quite the adventurer. He may be small, but he's got a big heart. I'm sure he would love to go home with you." The family decided to adopt Max, and he quickly settled into his new home. Timmy and Emily loved playing with him, and their parents enjoyed watching the bond grow between their children and the new puppy. Chapter 2: The Brave Act. One evening, as the family was enjoying a quiet night at home, a sudden noise startled Max. His ears perked up, and he let out a low growl. Timmy and Emily noticed Max's reaction and followed him to the living room, where they heard a strange noise coming from the kitchen. "What's that sound?" Timmy whispered, feeling a bit scared. Emily put a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "I don't know, but let's go check it out together." Max led the way, his small body tense and alert. As they approached the kitchen, they saw a flickering light and realized that the stove had been left on, causing a small fire to start. "Oh no! We need to get Mom and Dad," Emily said, her voice trembling. But before they could move, Max sprang into action. He barked loudly, alerting their parents, who rushed into the kitchen. Their father quickly grabbed a fire extinguisher and put out the fire, while their mother ushered Timmy and Emily to safety. Once the fire was out, the family gathered in the living room, still shaken but grateful that the situation hadn't escalated. Timmy hugged Max tightly. "You were so brave, Max. You saved us." Their parents looked at Max with admiration. "He's a hero," their father said. "If it weren't for Max, things could have been much worse." From that day on, Max was known as the brave little puppy who saved his family. His act of courage strengthened the bond between him and his family, and they showered him with love and affection. Chapter 3: A New Challenge. As the weeks went by, Max continued to grow and learn new things. He loved going on walks with Timmy and Emily, exploring the park, and playing fetch. But one day, a new challenge arose that would test Max's bravery once again. It was a sunny Saturday afternoon, and the family decided to take Max to the park for a picnic. The park was bustling with people enjoying the beautiful weather. Timmy and Emily played frisbee with Max, who eagerly chased after it, his tail wagging with excitement. As they played, Emily noticed a group of kids gathered near the pond, looking worried. Curiosity piqued, she walked over to see what was happening. Timmy and Max followed closely behind. "What's going on?" Emily asked one of the kids. The boy pointed to the pond. "Our ball fell into the water, and now it's stuck near the middle. We tried to get it, but it's too far, and we're afraid of falling in." Timmy looked at Max, who was watching the ball intently. "Maybe Max can help. He's a great swimmer." Emily nodded. "Let's give it a try." Timmy took off Max's leash and pointed to the ball. "Go get it, Max." Max hesitated for a moment, looking at the water. But then he remembered how he had saved his family from the fire, and his bravery kicked in. With a determined bark, he ran to the edge of the pond and jumped in. The kids watched in awe as Max swam towards the ball, his small body cutting through the water with ease. He reached the ball, grabbed it gently in his mouth, and swam back to the shore. As he climbed out of the water, shaking off the droplets, the kids cheered and clapped. "Way to go, Max!" Timmy exclaimed, hugging his wet but happy puppy. "You're a hero again." Emily patted Max's head. "You did it, Max. You're the bravest puppy ever." The other kids gathered around, petting Max and praising his bravery. Max basked in the attention, his tail wagging furiously. He had once again proven that he was not just a little puppy, but a courageous one as well. Chapter 4: The Lost Kitten. A few days later, as the family was taking their evening walk, Max's keen ears picked up a faint, distressed meow. He stopped in his tracks, his ears perked up, and he looked around, trying to locate the source of the sound. Timmy noticed Max's behavior and asked, "What's wrong, Max?" "What do you hear?" Max barked softly and started pulling on his leash, leading the family towards a nearby alley. Curious, they followed him. As they turned the corner, they saw a small, gray kitten huddled in a cardboard box, shivering and looking scared. "Oh, the poor thing," Emily said, her heart going out to the kitten. "It looks lost and hungry." Max approached the kitten slowly, his tail wagging gently. He sniffed the kitten and gave it a reassuring lick. The kitten, sensing Max's kindness, began to relax and nuzzled against him. Timmy's mother knelt down and carefully picked up the kitten. "We can't leave it here. Let's take it home and take care of it." Back at their house, they gave the kitten some warm milk and a soft blanket to rest on. The kitten quickly made itself at home, purring contentedly. Timmy and Emily decided to name the kitten Whiskers. As the days passed, Max and Whiskers became fast friends. They played together, shared meals, and even slept side by side. Max's protective instincts kicked in, and he watched over Whiskers, making sure the kitten felt safe and loved. One evening, as the family was watching TV, there was a knock on the door. Timmy's father opened it to find a worried-looking woman standing outside. "Hello, can I help you?" he asked. The woman explained that she had lost her kitten a few days ago and had been searching for it ever since. She showed them a picture of Whiskers. Timmy and Emily looked at each other, then at Whiskers, who was curled up on the couch with Max. "We found your kitten," Emily said, bringing Whiskers to the woman. Max led us to him in the alley. The woman's eyes filled with tears of gratitude as she hugged Whiskers. "Thank you so much. I've been so worried. You don't know how much this means to me." She reached down and petted Max. "And thank you, Max. You're a true hero." The family felt a mix of happiness and sadness as they said goodbye to Whiskers. They were glad the kitten was reunited with his owner, but they would miss him dearly. Max, however, seemed to understand that he had done something important, and he was content. Chapter 5: The Storm. One evening, a severe storm hit the city. The wind howled, lightning flashed, and thunder rumbled, making the whole house shake. Timmy and Emily huddled under blankets in the living room, feeling a bit scared. Max lay beside them, trying to comfort them with his presence. Suddenly, there was a loud crash outside, followed by the sound of breaking glass. Timmy's father went to check and found that a tree branch had fallen and shattered the living room window. Rain was pouring in, and the wind was making it difficult to close the window. "We need to get to the basement for safety," Timmy's father said, his voice calm but urgent. "Everyone, grab what you need and let's go." As they hurried to gather their things, Max started barking loudly and ran towards the back door. Timmy's mother followed him and gasped when she saw water flooding into the backyard. The heavy rain had caused the nearby river to overflow, and the water was rising quickly. "We have to leave the house," she shouted. "The flood is coming." The family grabbed their emergency bags and rushed outside, Max leading the way. The streets were already filling with water, and the rain showed no signs of stopping. They joined their neighbors, who were also evacuating to higher ground. As they reached a safe area, Timmy noticed an elderly woman struggling to carry her belongings and keep up with the crowd. Max seemed to sense her distress and ran to her, barking and nudging her gently. "Max, what's wrong?" Timmy asked, running after him. The woman looked at Max gratefully and said, "Thank you, little one. I could use some help." Timmy's family and their neighbors helped the woman carry her belongings and guided her to safety. Once they were all settled in the temporary shelter, the woman petted Max and said, "You're a brave and smart puppy. You helped save me." Timmy hugged Max tightly. "You did it again, Max. You're always there when someone needs help." Chapter 6: A Hero's Reward. The storm eventually passed, and the city began to recover from the damage. The family returned to their home, grateful to find it mostly intact. The neighborhood came together to clean up and rebuild, and Max became a local hero for his bravery during the storm. One day, as the family was working in their yard, Mr. Thompson from the pet shop visited them. He had heard about Max's heroic deeds and wanted to show his appreciation. "Max has shown incredible bravery and loyalty," Mr. Thompson said, handing Timmy a shiny new collar and a certificate of bravery for Max. "He's a true hero, and he deserves to be recognized." Timmy and Emily proudly placed the new collar on Max, who wagged his tail happily. The certificate was framed and hung in the living room as a reminder of Max's courage and the love he had brought into their lives. As the sun set and the family gathered for dinner, Timmy looked at Max and said, "You're not just a puppy, Max. You're our hero." Emily nodded, smiling. "We love you, Max. Thank you for being so brave and always taking care of us." Max looked up at his family, his tail wagging furiously. He knew he was loved and appreciated, and that was the greatest reward of all. Epilogue: The Legacy of Max. Max continued to grow and thrive in his loving home, always ready to lend a paw whenever someone needed help. His bravery and kindness left a lasting impact on everyone who met him, and his story became a cherished part of the community. Years later, as Timmy and Emily grew older, they often shared the story of Max with their friends and future families. Max's legacy of courage, loyalty, and love lived on, inspiring others to be brave and compassionate. And so, the tale of the brave little puppy who saved his family, helped a lost kitten, and guided his community through a storm became a beloved story of heroism and heart, reminding everyone that even the smallest among us can make a big difference.